This is a short video on walking safety. Joe and I talked about it and we decided that we really should have a video on walking safety and to talk to you a bit about that, especially for the people that are walking in our groups. In general, walking on the Camino trails is safe. However, there are many places where the bicigrinos, the people on bicycles, share the path with the peregrinos, the people on foot. And in those places, it can become quite dangerous, especially on hills, where the bicigrinos are going very, very fast down the hill, and there are pilgrims ahead. They can't stop. Most of the time, they'll shout at you, or you'll hear ding, 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 ding behind you. When you hear that, you need to move to the side and let them pass, or get completely off the trail. It can be frustrating, and there's a lot of animosity sometimes between the pilgrims who are walking and the bicyclists, because the pilgrims who are walking feel that those people on bicycles really should be on the road, not on the path. And it is a fact that when it's muddy and raining, the bikes can tear up the path, and so people don't really like it always. But it is a pilgrimage after all, and we should try to get along with each other. So if you hear the ding, ding, ding behind you, that means a bicycle's coming down very fast and he can't stop. Step aside and grumble to yourself later. Don't grumble and then step aside, because you don't want to get hit. And there have been several occurrences of pilgrims being quite hurt when they're hit by a bicycle coming up behind. So step aside and let them go past. Another thing I want to tell you about is walking on roadways. A lot of times I walk on the roadway. There's nothing that says you have to walk on the path called the Camino Santiago. That path is just made by people in a confraternity who've decided that's the way to go. They'll take you by a church because they want you to go by a church. There might be a straight, very quiet road going into the village, but instead of taking you on that, they'll take you down into a gully and back up a hill, because maybe they think pilgrims need to suffer. I don't know. So there are times when I'll just walk on the road if the road's quiet. Now, if the road's busy, I suggest, first of all, you probably stick to the path. But if you are walking on a busy road, walk facing traffic. Don't walk with the traffic coming up behind you. It's too dangerous. And also, if you need to cross a road and there's no alternative way, don't assume the traffic's going to stop for you, because it is not. You do not have the right of way in Spain. In Oregon, we have a law where if someone's standing on the side of the road, traffic must stop for them. And if the traffic doesn't stop, they'll get a ticket if a policeman sees you. They don't have that law in Spain. You do not have the right of way. And pilgrims have been hit by cars. So make sure the traffic is stopped and that it's safe for you to cross the road. In places like going into Pamplona, where there's a tunnel that you can go through under the road, use the tunnel. Don't try to go across the busy highway. It's just silly. It's like a 3-minute detour. Take the detour. Don't walk on a busy highway in your Altus poncho, because let me tell you, one time I almost went under a giant truck. I was walking alongside the road. We went over a bridge, so I was literally walking within 2 feet of traffic. I had my Altus poncho on. A big giant truck went by. The wind caught that poncho like a sail and flipped me backwards. And I could see those truck wheels go past about 8 inches away from my face. I almost was smashed. Really stupid of me to do that, and I won't do it again. Be careful when you've got that Altus poncho on and you're walking in traffic, because it can act like a sail, or any poncho for that matter. So let's see, then there's etiquette, walking etiquette. If you're on the path and there's a big group of you, don't walk 4 and 5 people astride, because people coming up behind you, or bicycles coming up behind you, can't get around you easily. Walk either single file if the path is really narrow, or no more than 2 people abreast. And if you are walking abreast, please listen for pilgrims coming up behind you that may want to pass you. If you're coming up upon people who are walking abreast, simply call out to them, and usually they'll get out of your way and let you go past. Everybody try to be kind and try to get along with each other. We are on a pilgrimage after all, trying to be better human beings. So think about that when you're walking and you come up across these problems. Anyway, I think that's it for safety. Just be careful, be aware of traffic, be aware of the ding, ding, ding of the bicigrinos behind you, and be careful when walking along roadways. All right, have a buen camino.